Hello guys, it's your Sexy Bill here. Today, we're gonna be listening to a story called "Go to Sleep," the Jeff the Killer. Hope you guys enjoy. And by the way, if you haven't heard of this, look it on YouTube.
Excerpt from local newspaper. Ominous unknown killer still at large. After weeks of killings, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. "I had a bad dream and woke up in the middle of the night," says the boy. "I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to go back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up, and..."
Okay, now that kind of scares me because I didn't know that the person said somebody was watching me. Okay. Keep hearing.
Nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in the little ray of light illuminating from my curtains, were a pair of two eyes. These weren't regular eyes, they were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black, and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it. A simple phrase, but said it in a way only a madman could speak. "Go to sleep." I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled out a knife, aimed at my heart, jumped on my bed. I fought him back. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around, trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad burst in with his 12-gauge shotgun. He aimed it at the man. He almost...
Okay, why would that guy take a knife and do that? Okay, I don't know why would he do that, but this is kind of going too far, but it's just getting out of hand, but let's do this.
Got him. But before he could pull the trigger, the man leapt out to the side. The man threw the knife in a Bowie knife style into my dad's shoulder. He let go of the gun. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police. They drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash, like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I looked out to see him vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing. I'll never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes. That psychotic smile. It'll never leave my head. Police still are on the lookout for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description in the story, please contact your local police department. Jeff and his family had moved into the new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Lou couldn't complain, though. A new, better house. What was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and to introduce my son." She turned around and called her son over. "Billy, these are our new neighbors." Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. "Well," said Jeff's mom, "I'm Margaret. This is my husband, Peter, and our two sons, Jeff and Lou." They each introduced themselves.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. Do you think Jeff and Lou are friends or evil because they have barbers in them and they have one of the barber persons? And so I just want to ask you questions and see if you want to comment below to answer that.
Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. Jeff went up to his mom. "Mom, why did you invite us to some kid's party? They haven't noticed. I'm not some dumb kid." "Jeff," says his mom, "we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now we're going to that party, and that's final." Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he can't do anything. Whenever his mom says something, it's final. He walks up to his room and plops down on his bed. Sits there looking at the ceiling when suddenly he gets a weird feeling. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling. He dismisses it as if some random feeling. He hears his mom calling him down to get his stuff, and he walks down to get it. The next day, Jeff walked down the stairs to get breakfast and get ready for school. As he sat there, eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. This time it was stronger. Gave him a slight tugging pain. He once again dismissed it. As he and Lou finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then, all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumps over them, only inches above their laps. They both jump back in surprise. "Hey, what the hell, kid?" The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hand. He wears an Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans. Well, 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 looks like we got some new meat." Suddenly 2 other kids appeared. One is super skinny and the other is huge. "Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there's Keith." Jeff and Lou look at the skinny kid. He has a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. They look over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. This kid looks like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. "And I," says the kid, "am Randy. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there's a small price of bus fare. If you catch my drift." Lou stands up, ready to punch the light out of the kid's eyes, when his 2 friends pull a knife up at him.
Okay, why would he do that? That is pretty unsafe, unavailable, because, like, when he does that, it's like Jeff is gonna hurt the kid, and the kid's gonna hurt Jeff, and then he's gonna get bleed from the Jeff because he has a knife and hurt him. Why would people do this to him? Like how stupid. Like, for real, man. Chill.
"I had hoped you'd be more cooperative, but it seems we must do things the hard way." The kid walks up to Lou and takes his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff gets that feeling again. Now it's truly strong, a burning sensation. He stands up, but Lou gestures him to sit down. Jeff ignores it and walks up to the kid. "Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet or else." Randy puts the wallet in his pocket and pulls a knife. "Oh? And what you gonna do?" Just as he finishes his sentence, Jeff pops the kid in the nose. The kid reaches for his face. Jeff grabs the kid's wrist and breaks it. Randy screams and Jeff grabs the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rush him, but Jeff's too quick. He throws Randy to the ground. Keith lashes out at him, but Jeff ducks and stabs him in the arm. Keith drops his knife and falls to the ground screaming. Troy rushes him too, but Jeff doesn't even need the knife.
Okay, guys. I know, guys, how you feel now, but to me, I'm pretty worried about that kid, because if that kid get hurt and if that kid need to be safe, I'm gonna go save that kid and hurt Jeff the killer, because, like, he's pretty violent person, so, like, just watch out for that person. Mean one.
He punches Troy straight in the stomach. He goes down. As he falls, he pukes all over the place. Lou can do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. "Jeff, how did you..." That's all he says. They see the bus coming, and know they'd be blamed for the whole thing, so they start running as fast as they can. As they run, they look back and see the bus driver rushing over to Randy and them. As Jeff and Lou make it to school, they don't dare tell what happens. All they do is sit and listen. Lou just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was, the urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help but feel happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day of school, even as he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop. And how now he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore. He felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was. He says, in a somewhat ominous voice, "It was a wonderful day." Next morning, he heard a knock at the front door. He walks down to find 2 police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. "Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids, that it wasn't a regular fight, and that they were stabbed? Stabbed, son." Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. "Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Lou." "Son," says one of the cops, "we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach, and we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now what does that tell us?" Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Lou had been attacked, but there was no proof it was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing, because, truth be told, they were. So, Jeff couldn't defend himself or Lou. "Son, call down your brother." Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all 3 of the kids. "Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up those kids. Lou tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me." The cop looked at his partner. They both nodded. "Well, kid looks like a year in juvie." "Wait," says Lou. We all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them on Lou. "It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it." He lifted up his sleeve to reveal cuts and bruises, as if he were in a struggle. "Son, just put down the knife," said the officer. Lou held up the knife and dropped it on the ground, put his hands up, and walked over to the cops. "No, Lou, it was me. I did it." Jeff had tears running down his face. Poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did. "Well, take me away." Police led Lou out to the patrol car. "Lou, tell them it was me. Tell them I was the one who beat up those kids." Lou's mother put her hand on Jeff's shoulder. "Jeff, please, you don't have to lie. We know it's Lou. You can stop." Jeff watched helplessly as the cop's car sped off with Lou inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulls into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something's wrong. "Son, what is it?" Jeff can't answer. His vocal cords are strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walks his father inside to break the bad news to him. As Jeff weeps in the driveway, after an hour or so, Jeff walks back into the house, seeing his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed. He can't look at them. He can't see how they think of Lou when it was his fault. He just goes to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days go by, with no word from Lou at JDC. No friends to hang out with. Nothing but sadness and guilt. That is until Saturday, when Jeff is woke up by his mother, with a happy, sunny face. "Jeff, it's the day," she says as she opens the curtains and lets light flood into Jeff's room. What's today?" says Jeff as he stirs.
Okay guys, if you guys like this video, give this video a big thumbs up. And I like this video, but this is a really good story, and I can tell it's a real story, because when real stories are like these, it happens in real life, like in this real life. And tell you guys, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button. Thank you.